Alright, welcome. I finally have time to make a video such as this, but the next time you see me will probably be April, because that's just the way things have been going. But this video, it's going to be very straightforward, okay? I'm going to be showcasing albums I've gotten since, December. Some of them have been gifts, most of them I have bought, but thank God for gift cards, right? So I kind of broke them up into various sections. I have one here that I'll start off with, which is bands and albums I found out through, YouTube channel, and then other ones are kind of one-offs. They either might be adding onto a pre-established catalog I own, or they're the start of catalogs that I would love to build off of. And then over here we have all of the records and stuff like that. So like I said, let's start off with the albums and bands I found out through YouTube channel. Obviously, if you've seen my videos for quite a while, you might have heard me talk about the channel Calico Silver. Jeff, great stuff he makes there, predominantly music related. So some of these ones I knew absolutely nothing about, but I was quite intrigued, and others I did know, and it just re-sparked an interest, and I went ahead and bought it, and I'm absolutely thankful that I did. So with this band I'll be starting off here. They're from Australia, and they're a punk female-led group, and they're called Amo and the Sniffers. This is their first album, much more raw sounding. It's kind of got like that cheap microphone quality, but not in a diminishing way or a critical way or anything. It definitely adds in terms of its own piece and art style. This one's their second one, much more polished sounding, but both of them absolutely kick-ass, right? You got the punk, you got the rock, totally in your face. The AC/DC influence is definitely there, and female-led, so that's always a bonus. Especially when it comes to a genre like this. So thank you, Jeff, for talking about these guys and gal. But like I said, I knew absolutely nothing about them, but it sounded totally up my alley. And this is a very newish band. Their newest one that came out was in 2021. So yeah, these guys are definitely kicking ass, that's for sure. So again, thank you for that, Jeff. And sticking with the channel, but through a different genre, we have the shoegaze dreamscape quality, and we have Slowdive by Savaki. I probably butchered that, I'm sorry, but it was interesting. He made a series of going through each year for the Rate My Music, and looking at the top two, or I think sometimes three albums, and seeing what he thought about them, right? But when I found about this, I'm like, damn, I gotta look into this, right? So I checked them out. I absolutely adored this album, and went ahead and got it. Actually, this one I got for Christmas, because the video he made was quite a while ago. So yeah, I kept putting it on the list, and I finally got it. But man, like I said, just what a trip. You want to talk about floating through the clouds? You want to talk about, like I said, that dreamscape shoegaze quality. I would say, when it comes to this whole genre, don't put much stock into the lyrics, because some of them can be quite nonsensical, but hey, that's not the point, right? That's not the point. The point is the trip that you get with albums such as these, and brother, you are definitely on trip. I mean, listen to the song Sing, which is track 4, and tell me that that's not haunting. Absolutely terrific. And speaking of terrific, we have My Bloody Valentine with their superb album, Loveless. A lot of people, such as myself, absolutely, treasure this album. But a lot of other people absolutely hate and despise it, which I understand why, because it's totally in your face. It's just a wall of sound. There's no change in any of the instruments. The fluctuation of the decibels, is some things are up front, others are more further behind. That's not the case with this. This is just punching you in the face all at once. Absolutely terrific. But this one is a remastered version, okay, and it comes with 2 CDs. The first one is remastered original 1630 tape, and then the second CD is remastered original half-inch analog tapes. because unfortunately with Jeff, when he got his copy, I got this on Amazon. I'm pretty sure he got his as well. His was rather shitty. Like the jewel case was cracked. He said that the sound, the audio quality to the CD was very tinny. I was like, oh, that's too bad. Then I found out that there was the remastered version, and looking through the reviews, somebody said, oh, this eliminates the tin sound that you get on the original. So I was like, oh, okay, there answers that, that critique. So I don't know what happened with that original version, if it just got squeezed or compressed when they're being turned into CDs. I'm not sure, but this absolutely flawless, super polished, just beautiful, blows up your stereo. I would say though, I haven't had time to differentiate between the first CD and the second CD. I've only listened to the second one, the remastered original half-inch analog tapes. The reason why I say that is because I was seeing some reviews from Amazon. I believe it was the first CD, because I didn't notice any problems with the second one. But for the first one, there is like a small error at some point on that on that version. So, but in any case, if you want to own the album Loveless, but don't want to go through the tinny sort of crappy quality, definitely get the remastered version. So those are the albums that I got based off of Jeff's videos. Thank you so much, Jeff. I greatly appreciate it, and keep up the good work. I absolutely love your content. And so with this section here, like I said earlier, most of them are one-offs. They either are already adding to a catalog I have, or they're going to be the beginning of brand new ones. But this one here, we have Wolf Alice. Okay, this album, absolutely amazing. I love it. But keeping up with the same genre that we just left off of. Heavily dreamscape and shoegaze, but there's also a lot of elements of rock and punk and some hip-hop influence, but they're intertwined in that shoegaze quality. It makes for such a pleasant experience, and Ellie's vocals, absolutely beautiful, mesmerizing, just taking you on a journey, right? Just terrific. I love this band, and I look forward to getting more albums from the catalog. Now we shift in terms of genres, more rock-oriented. We have Avril Lavigne's album, Head Above Water. I only need one more album to finish off the catalog, that being her newest album, Love Sucks. I don't know, guys, are you guys in the same boat as me? Jesus, this is like the 5th vocal crack I've had in this video, I'm sorry. But are you guys in the same boat as me, to where you start buying albums in a catalog, right? And let's say you're like 90% there, okay? You may need 2, maybe 3 albums left to finish it off, but you're at that point now. It's like, okay, I'm mostly done with this. I'm going to venture off into other bands and artists and like start up their catalogs, right? So you end up at that point to where a year goes by and you realize, hey, you only need one more album to finish something off, right? And it's kind of like, oh yeah, but there's other stuff out. Perhaps that's just me. But in any case, Head Above Water, I think that this is a fine album. Definitely do enjoy it. Her catalog's kind of interesting for me because it's a rare instance to where I kind of enjoy her older stuff more than the newer stuff. Most of the time when it comes to a band or an artist, I do prefer the later stuff. But that's not to say that her new stuff is bad by any means, no way. But yeah, Head Above Water, great stuff. And you get your instant classics from her catalog, like Head Above Water and stuff like that. So absolutely terrific. Continuing on in terms of building from a catalog, we have Poppy with her album Zig. Came out in, I believe, October. Man, you want to talk about a singer that continues to evolve her craft, her image even, and her genre. Definitely the case for Poppy here. You go from I Disagree, very post-genre obviously, but heavily dominating in the metal industrial thing. And then you get the album Flux, again post-genre but heavily dominating the shoegaze. This one heavily dominates that sort of electric dance, somewhat industrial pop and like electro feel. Definitely amazing stuff here. And I actually do prefer this on a CD as opposed to listening to it on YouTube. That's kind of the case with me on most albums, just because you get to feel much more, the bass or the guitar, stuff like that. But yeah, absolutely amazing stuff here. Poppy Zig. Alright, this one, Foo Fighters here. And But here we are. I'm sorry, guys. Even with my eyes, white on white just fucking kills me. But I haven't read or looked into the significance or like why they chose it to be this way. But I would assume based on Taylor Hawkins passing away, it gives that sort of solemn feel to it. But yeah, Foo Fighters continue to kick ass. They drop another banger. I loved their last album, Medicine at Midnight. That might be my favorite of theirs. But yeah, this one just absolute banger here. And I swear it's not like the Beatles' White Album. There's actually something here. Okay, there you go. Here we are. All right, this is going to be kind of interesting here because this band, I know they kind of get poo-pooed on because they're just seen as a certain way that are listened by a certain group of people, alright? But this band, I totally dig. I knew a couple of their tracks when I was a kid playing Crazy Taxi, and if you know where I'm going with this, then you know that I'm talking about The Offspring, okay? So like I said, I know this band gets a lot of shit from people. I know folks think that the only people that listen to this are like stoner skateboarders, you know, but hey man, that may be the case for some, but you got people like me that also dig them, alright? And for the life of me, I don't know how the fuck you're supposed to pronounce this album. I'm going to say Zene on the Ombre, but you know, I know that this album perhaps isn't the best in their catalog, at least that's from what I've read, but still, I think this totally kicks ass. You know, you get like Meaning of Life in here, but talk about like the Crazy Taxi tunes. You get All I Want, Way Down the Line, and God, which one is it? Oh, Me and My Old Lady. What a fucking song that is. I absolutely love that one. But you also get funny stuff on here. You know, you get like a first one is like a disclaimer. It's super tongue in cheek, totally satirical, and then you do get like an intermission halfway through where it just sounds like a dude's orgasming in your face. I don't know. Just a lot of oohs and ahs. It's a little weird at that point, but otherwise, Offspring, Zene on the Ombre, I'll probably butcher that. I'm sorry, but I definitely do love that one. And here we go for Kiss, right? Carnival of Souls, the final sessions. I'll say most people that are Kiss fans probably fucking despise this album because, you know, it's just Kiss doing Alice in Chains, you know, the 90s grunge rock type of thing, you know, but I think this is freaking amazing, alright? I love this album so much, and you probably saw it when I did like a community post. I showed a picture because they have like a little catalog in here, and they got like various Kiss like latex masks, or they probably not be latex, but you know, just like face masks. They look fucking terrible, dude. They look like something out of Goosebumps, and you know, you'd like the episode when she puts the mask on and like comes alive, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, there you go. Those are like the one-offs right there. And this one, very, very, very special because it took me forever to finally get the opportunity to not only see it on eBay, but to be able to buy it, okay? We're talking about one of my favorite albums of all time. You've heard me talk about them recently. I've mentioned them in 2 albums before. We're talking about Jack Off Jill with their album Clear Hearts, Grey Flowers. Fucking finally I get this album. You know, you don't understand the amount of wait that I've been going through for this. Like eBay, like every fucking day I type this into eBay. Oh, okay, there's nothing there. Oh, okay, this is fucking right. I finally got this. But here's something though. I'll tell you what. I actually was able to buy this album months ago by a different seller, but something happened. It got shipped, but it just got lost somewhere in transit. It's probably in a wooden crate next to the Ark of the Covenant, you know, so I was totally bummed out. But I was able to find this, as well as this one here, their first album, alright, Sexless Demons and Scars. But when I bought it, I'm like, okay, because yeah, like I said, these came as one. So I'm like, okay, I'll sell this because I already own their first album. But then that's when I realized, wait a minute, these are actually 2 different, you know, artistic styles that we got here. This is the one that I own, and this is the one I came with. So you can see the edging of the jewel case there. This one has designs. This one's just like that sort of black hard plastic thing. And there's even stuff here to where, if you can see that, definitely sort of like that scratched up look to it. Well, this one for their name, it's that sort of bold, you know, like Arial font, you know, like sort of corporate thing. And then even in the back, the one that I have here, you can see the bottom right, with the Risk Records 404. And then this one, it's a little different. You know, the logo is different. The 404 is over there, and inside, little difference in terms of color saturation. So it's like, hey man, that's pretty cool. And what's even more cool. Grab a thesaurus, Sean, alright? but what's even amazing, I'm not going to show it because, you know, I don't want the person to get doxxed or something, but the album, the CD that I got, it owns the original receipt. It's from like Tower Records back in like 1998. You know, it was quite cool seeing that, and I'm like, oh, looking at the cost, I'm like, oh, it's kind of the same as what it's going for now, you know, just in terms of inflation. But yeah. So happy that I was able to get this one. Fucking finally. God, you guys do not understand, okay? So anyways. Now we kind of move on to the record side of things. But there's two CDs I have here, but they correlate with the records that I have, okay? This band is called Even Gods Can Die. I got them around Christmas time. For this version of the band, heavily instrumental. Okay, this one's a lot more menacing, sort of dramatic sounding here. And the album's called Last Day of Aries. Very cool stuff. And in terms of the records, we have this one here, Collapsing Ascending. The records are absolutely beautiful. I should have pulled them out, but they're kind of like that colorful, transparent thing. You know, we got like a blue and stuff like that. And here's... shit, you know, this one kind of throws me off a lot. It's like Universus. The reason why is because I think it's supposed to be like this, so you can have the name down here, but it's actually supposed to be this way. So yeah, absolutely love their work. Again, heavily instrumental for this band, you know, Even Gods Can Die, but kind of moved on into a different band, and we got the band called Ghosting, the lead singer, Craig Talley. It's the alternative emo type of stuff going on here. I think like early 2000s, that type of sound. I definitely dig it. So yeah, big fan to say the least, since I own quite a bit, right? And Craig seems to be like a really cool guy, right? And with this one, I think it's in this catalog to where it's the only one in the records to where there's not like two or more of the same artist. This one's just like one piece, alright? We have Ozzy Osbourne and Bark at the Moon. So you go from, you know, the albums to where very artistic in terms of its album cover to like freaking Ozzy Osbourne, right? But hey man, what more can you say, right? I would say I think I kind of prefer the album that came before it, you know, the Diary of a Madman, but still, this one still, you know, definitely kicks ass. And, you know, Ozzy Osbourne, God bless him, man, he's still alive, right? He's defying all odds. Okay, this one, though, you know, obviously I've known about her, right? Don't get me wrong, I knew the tunes, you know, I knew her from the Goonies as well, but I never really ventured into listening to her catalog. But that was until I was just cat sitting for my sister, and I just put it on YouTube. I'm like, you know, I'm kind of like in an 80s mood, so let's check her out. Absolutely fell in love. We have, you know, Cyndi Lauper, right? She's So Unusual. Fantastic album. Obviously, you know, you get the Juggernaut and Girls Just Want to Have Fun. I mean, look at the backside. How cool is that, right? But I think and you know, Time After Time, that's just splendid right there. I do think for me, my favorite song on here, and probably one of my favorite songs of all time, is She Bop. Absolutely incredible. What a freaking jam that is. And this one here, pretty cool. It's like I don't buy or collect like the you know, single issues, but you know, with the eBay stuff that we got here, this came with one, right? So you got True Colors that will go for the album that I got, True Colors, right? So on the back side, you know, it shows you what you get. You know, money changes everything, life, and then Heading for the Moon. Very cool here. Like I said, I don't collect or buy single releases, but it was very neat to have this included. And like I said, you guys, Cyndi Lauper's True Colors, fantastic album, absolutely splendid. You know, spectacular songs like Change of Heart, Boy Blue, obviously True Colors, One Track Mind, terrific, absolutely love. And it's actually kind of interesting for, you know, because the next album you get is A Night to Remember. And it took me a while to actually listen to that, because I'll see the reviews and it's like, oh, you know, it's a mixed to poor reception, right? I'm like, ah, that's too bad. But brother, I started that, I think like last week. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? You know, this album's great. You know, Drive All Night. You know, just come on, man. This, like, perhaps not in the same league as those two. You know, those two are like an A tier, perhaps an I tier members like a B tier. But still, I'm like, fucking great. And then, you know, her next one, Half Full of Stars, just spectacular. So I'll be looking forward to getting those as well. But sticking to the 80s with another female juggernaut, you might know where I'm going with this one. Obviously, she carries a lot of controversies, but, you know, art over artist, right? I can really give two shits. We have here Madonna, Like a Virgin. But this one's special because this is the UK version. You might be asking, well, why the fuck did you get the UK version? Why not good old US of A? Well, that's because for good old US of A, it doesn't contain the song Into the Groove. I'm like, what the fuck is up with that? So yeah, UK, they got Into the Groove. I'm like, let me get this because that song is an absolute banger, right? But yeah, absolutely love, obviously, and then you also get you know, True Blue right here, just amazing stuff. My buddy LT, you know, LT Music Videos, he made one for the song Frozen off her album Ray of Light. What a excellent album that is, Ray of Light, because I think you can kind of bitch about these albums to where it's like, okay, the only thing she knows how to do is, you know, dance pop, like, you know, Sex and Love and Image, that type of thing. But when you get to Ray of Light, brother, that's just like leagues beyond anything you could have ever imagined. Absolutely terrific. And the last section we have here is Mr. David Bowie, station to station. You can thank LT, man. He's been making all kinds of David Bowie videos. He's been talking to me about David Bowie. So, you know, that the first album that I got was Man Who Sold the World. I love it. This one we have here, definitely that sort of eerie film noir type of thing going on here. You know, obviously the one that gets constant airplay is Golden Years, right? But it's also kind of interesting to where I think if I was to just hear that on the radio or something, I'm like, ah, fuck, skip. But when it's in an album, you know, in a story or of some sorts, you know, there's no skips for me there. So absolutely love. Oh, and these three albums that I got were sold by the same seller as well, so that was very convenient. And this one, the you know, poster child, what do you think, David Bowie, Loud Insane. This one I really do enjoy. I will say though, if you were just to ask somebody, think of a David Bowie album, this is the type of stuff that you're going to think of. You know, it's got sort of the trademark David Bowie sounds and instruments and lyrics and vocals, that type of thing. So while I do really enjoy it, it wasn't really groundbreaking for me because I'm like, oh, okay, that's something I would expect, right? But then I got to this album, again, that, like I said, all three of these came in the same seller. This one, I've seen the cover, but I never listened to it. And brother, the first time I put on that needle onto the record, I'm like, huh, you know, this sounds like a different artist altogether. And then his voice comes through. Brother, we're talking about Scary Monsters. Holy shit. Brother, this is absolutely amazing. What a treasure this album is. I mean, like I said, it's the first song you get is It's No Game Part 1. Again, you put that needle on, and then you got, you know, the woman speaking in Japanese, and then he's just like fucking bellowing, right? Just it's just, you know, just screaming, and oh my god, what artistic genius is going on in this album. Absolutely high quality stuff, super, like I said, artistic, just, you know, just leagues beyond the stuff that you would think of when it comes to, like, you know, your standard David Bowie song. So what I mean by that is, like, okay, you have a playlist, right? Here's you know, Major Tom, here's Golden Years, here's, you know, Changes, here's Modern Love, stuff like that. Brother, that shit don't compare to this, or you know, well, I take that back. Some of them do, but you know what I mean, right? You know what I mean. But anyways, absolutely amazing. I'm so happy I got that, and I'm so happy I have all these albums that I was able to share to you guys. So let me know what you think. Do you own any of these albums? I'll be very, very curious if you do. Or at the very least, have you listened to any of them? Which ones are your favorites? Which ones do you fucking hate? Which ones will you never even own? I'll be curious to see what you guys have to say. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I wasted 25 minutes of your life. I don't know, go do something after. Alright guys, take care.